everyone, welcome to a new video. It's a sort of studio vlog, this one really. Yeah, as you might have seen in the title of the thumbnail, this studio is not working for me. It's just not working. This desk, when I'm painting, it's absolutely fine because this desk is just in the right place. I can have YouTube videos on, I can see over the top at YouTube videos on my computer there. I've got the view over there, and I've got this extra table space here where I can put my paints, and so that kind of works out fine until I want to start sewing. Now I've got a couple of really exciting sewing projects coming up, and it's like, now what? Now what? I will be talking to you in some future video soon about why you haven't seen much sewing content on this channel. If that's your thing and you've been missing it, don't forget, if you'd like to join our Patreon community, I am uploading at least one sewing video every month there. There's quite a lot there now. In fact, as you watch this, I probably, yes, I will have reached my 1 year Patreon birthday. So you've got a whole year of videos. If you're not familiar with Patreon, it's like a paid community where I give you extra content there. So you've got sewing videos every month, and as you might know, I've been getting into my art quite seriously lately, so there's a lot of art content on there as well, extra videos, and the sewing videos are a bit more tutorial-y as well. I just give a little bit of advice here and there, so you might be interested in that. I'll put the link below if you are. But yeah, sewing. So as you can see, I've been using my sewing machines to dry out paints and rest old paint palette sheet on here. I've got some pyrography bits here. Yeah, I need to do something about this. Also, the place has got a mess because there's not much to move around. The mannequin is just here that I keep out most of the time. So it's quite a narrow space to get round. So I have decided I am going to downsize a lot of my sewing paraphernalia. This is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult for me, it really is, because I just love, I mean seriously, if I lived in Victorian times I would definitely want to work in a haberdashery shop. Yes. Yeah, I will be packing things up in sort of inspiration packs and selling those on Etsy, I expect. I haven't got that organised yet, so I'll let you know a bit more about that when the time comes. But yeah, I'm going to be selling off some of my stuff and hopefully making some more room. In the meantime, I just need another sort out. I feel like I'm forever trying to sort out this studio, but I guess that's the way of a creative life really, particularly one where I can't stick at one thing. So before I get going with, well, starting with a general tidy up really, I've got a couple of old videos that I thought would fit in quite nicely with this video. So sometimes I film things and I think, oh well, that doesn't really fit in with this week's vlog, so I keep the footage and I think I'll use it later. So I hope you don't mind things being a bit out of order, but I've got a video I filmed back in February, which is sorting out paintbrushes, and I've got a video of sorting out paint again and general art supplies. So I hope you enjoy watching those clips, and then we'll make a good start on this room. I'm sure I won't be finishing it in this video, but I want to make a good start. Right, I've got one of those jobs that is going to be really fun, so I thought I would bring you along with me. So I've got the camera at a really awkward angle. No, maybe I think that might have to be the right way actually. But I apologise for all the mess. I am actually about to tackle some of it. Some of it is here because I'm in the middle of doing other crafty projects. Actually, you know, it's actually not too bad. You can see a lot of the desk, which is a big improvement on most of the time. So yes, the job I have in hand will involve tidying up some of this, because I was given this for Christmas by my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law, and it's to organise my paintbrushes. Well, I could organise my pens in it as well actually, but I could really do with some paintbrush organisation, and I thought that is something that, I don't know, It's the sort of thing I really enjoy doing, like putting all my pencils in rainbow order, you know, that sort of thing. So that's what I'm going to do now. Apologise for this really squeaky chair, and if you were around when I bought the chair and put it together, it isn't just my bad handiwork. Chris has come at it with a electric screwdriver to try and get the screws in better to stop it creaking around, and there's nothing we can do. So right now I've got one stack of paintbrushes in a cocoa powder tub, and I had intended, and I thought, oh, that would be good content for a video, I thought I had intended on getting some nice pretty paper or fabric and just making it look nice. And then I've been given this. I might keep the tubs anyway because they are good ones. So this one's dry roasted peanuts. And then we've got at the back, oh, this is a nice one. Oh, do you know what? I think I might use this for my water when I'm painting. Anyway, we're going to organise these. I also have a new pack of the Jane Davenport Murmurlicious brush set, and this is my second one. I bought one set, so they've got like mermaid tails on the bottom, but these brushes are wonderful. Jane Davenport does do good quality products, I found, so she's not just, you know, pretty packaging. These are really nice brushes, so I bought a second set. I always grab, you know, if I see it on a good price, I'll grab it. And I bought myself these a cheap pack from Royal and Langnickel, because it was actually in buying the Jane Davenport brushes. See this shape? Sort of not flat and square, but it has been flattened and then sort of ovaled over the top. And I discovered from watching a YouTube video recently, these are called filbert brushes. So I googled filbert brushes. Turns out you can buy them in this shape. Oh dear, I need to spend some more time hanging around in actual real art shops, because then I might discover things like this. So yeah, I've bought this pack here, so these can very swiftly be popped straight into this desktop organiser. And I haven't used any of these yet, so I'm looking forward to trying them out. So we have some new. There we are. And we have some old. These here, these were from my GCSE art pack, and so they are quite old, but I have some paintbrushes that are older than that. I know I bought a whole bundle of paintbrushes at a boot sale. Oh, if you're American, I don't know if you have, you probably don't call them boot sales. A bit like a yard sale. Get fields full of people selling their old rubbish, basically. No, not their old rubbish. They're clear out items. And I know I bought a whole pile of paintbrushes at one of those, but there are a couple that are just so familiar in my hand. I know that they were mine. This is one of them, absolutely 100%. In fact, I remember buying that one. This is another one of them. So this is my try at buying having a go with a flat brush. Yeah, I just don't get on with flat brushes for some reason. This is it. Oh, I'm glad I found it. These are the paintbrushes that I bought when between the ages of, I don't know, 5 and 10, definitely. These were the ones that I used to go in, that I bought from probably all 4 of them came from the art shop in the town where I grew up. And I would spend my pocket money in there whenever I had the chance to go. It wasn't that far from B-Jams. Does anyone remember B-Jams? Which turned into Iceland. And so sometimes I'd beg my mum, please, can I go down to the art shop? And oh, I have such vivid memories of that art shop, I really do. And we're done. It was just as fun as I thought it was going to be. I'm just going to get some washi tape quickly and put it across. So now these hopefully won't just flop forward. We'll see if that's strong enough. I'm hoping that will work for these tall ones to keep those in place. So in this compartment are acrylic brushes, acrylic round brushes. In this compartment we have acrylic flat brushes, these here are my cheaper watercolour brushes. Yeah, just others that I've picked up over the years. And it's always useful to have cheap brushes as well as the more expensive ones, because sometimes it's nice not to have to be precious about your brushes, you know, they can be thrown away if you forget to wash the acrylics out afterwards or whatever. So yeah, we've got some cheap watercolour brushes, also useful for watercolour pencils actually, when you just, or any other watercolour medium like those watercolour crayons, you just need to dissolve them and blend them. These are quite good for that sort of thing. Then I've put together my more expensive paintbrushes. So I don't know if I've really got any that are very expensive. Winsor and Newton, that synthetic blend. The paintbrushes I buy now, I do deliberately pick synthetic because I do worry a little bit about the whole animal welfare situation, because most of these are made in countries where the animal welfare is not their strong point, let's say. But I've got some real hair ones here as well that I've bought in the past. So these are my posher old watercolour brushes. And then these are the new synthetic brushes that I bought. So these are a mix of the Filbert brushes set, the Jane Davenport ones, and also I bought a set of round brushes from Master Touch Aquamarine Watercolour Round. And for a cheap set from Amazon, these were so good. I really enjoyed using these for my watercolours that I was doing last year. Then we've got my palettes, apart from the big Jane Davenport one, plastic palettes and metal palette knives. It's so confusing. Art supplies are so confusing. There's so many things that have the same name, palette knives and palettes. But anyway, that's that compartment, and then we're back to the beginning. So there we are. Some of you will have found that really dull, and if so, I apologise. But I know I am not the only paintbrush nerd and organising nerd amongst us. So for those people, I hope you enjoyed it. So today I was treated to a lovely roast dinner out with the girls. It was so nice, it really was. And popped into WH Smith's while I was in the town. Picked myself up an acrylic paper pad. It doesn't say A3 on it, but I'm guessing that's an A3 size, which I want to give a try to. You know, I need to try out different papers, find out which ones I like the best. And I also picked up, these were buy one get one free. I think, to be honest, they're not worth the price for just one, I don't think. Anyway, £25 each, buy one get one free. This lovely design, which I thought goes quite nicely in this room. These drawers. I don't usually buy this sort of thing on a whim because it's fairly big, quite bulky. Normally I wouldn't be entirely sure whether I actually needed this, but coincidentally last night I was painting with my gouache paints in this wooden box here, and I realised I needed to separate them out. I've got two types of gouache paints. The De Lironi Simply ones that I bought with a big bundle of art supplies off eBay, and then some Winsor & Newton Designers gouache, which I have more of, previously used. I don't know if you can see that. Again, some of these were a bundle. These are a bit older, I think. De Lironi ones are absolutely nothing like the Winsor & Newton. I mainly noticed this when painting over the top of acrylic, when you couldn't see the De Lironi ones, the Simply range. So this is just a student grade paint, and this is more of a professional artist grade paint. And these just have like next to no pigment in. Over the top of acrylics you couldn't see the colour hardly at all, whereas these were nice and opaque and you could layer over the top of acrylics. So that's what I'm experimenting with at the moment. See if that works as a style. Anyway, this is a long-winded way of saying I was getting really frustrated with my box, searching through the ones I needed, which is the posher ones. So I'm going to separate them out, and I thought I would use one of these because I was run out of other boxes and nice boxes to put my paints in. My art supply chest of drawers over in the corner is a little full to bursting, so I thought this was not a bad solution. And I've decided to put all of my sort of student grade paints in this box so that I know I can reach for this box when I'm just playing about and don't want to do anything particularly precious. I want to try something new and don't want to use my posh paints in my art journal, that sort of thing. So if I keep them all together, I know I can just pick up that box when I'm doing that. So this is going to be fun. I like organising paints. So I'm really happy with this one. I've got my cheapy gouaches in these two. I've got my cool colours and the warm colours, and so I'm happy with that. And my old cheapy acrylics in here. Now these are newer acrylics, but still not, you know, they're hobby grade rather than professional. This one is my really old poster paints that I bought when I was a child. Most of them are solid, but I bet with a bit of water they will reactivate and be fine. And then in the bottom drawer, these acrylics that have come in an eBay bundle that are a little bigger, and we've got room for more, which is good fun. So I'm debating what to do next. Underneath my art desk, I've got this big heavy box which currently has all my acrylics in it. They fit so nicely, and up next to me, because I've been using them, is the posher gouache paints. Now I'm dithering over whether to try and fit all of that into the second box or not, because these wooden cases are really nice, but they're a pain because you've got this lid which just gets in the way, I'll be honest. So my setup is here on the desk. I've got my notebook open with my cools and warm colours to make sure that I put them in the right section if I'm sorting them out. And then, so my brushes and my water are here on the desk to my right. And then where do I put my palette? So this is my gouache palette. Again, sorted by cools and warms. Cools at the back, warms at the front. And where do I put it? Do I just rest it on top of all the paint and it sort of doesn't quite sit? Or do I shut the lid, put the palette on top, and then every time I get low on a paint I have to pick up the palette, pick up the lid, put in it. Do you see what I mean? I don't have space to open that lid and have it flat, because beyond that to my right is my sewing machines. The drawer situation would really work, because then I could just pop the palette on top and just pull the paint out the drawer. It would really work, but I'm not sure if they're going to fit, and I'm not sure if they're going to be too heavy for this sort of type of box. You know, it's just card really. Maybe I'll just give it a try and see what happens. I can always put it back, can't I? So this second case now has all of my artist grade paints that I use the most, apart from watercolour, which I don't actually use that often in my big paintings. And if I'm doing watercolour, then it will be likely to be just watercolour, so I can just get those out. Whereas a lot of the time I'm mixing all of these up and using all of them in the same painting. So on the top row, I've got my cool colours of gouache in this drawer, and my warm colours of gouache in this drawer. And then this is my duplicates. So I have all these colours already in these two drawers. I thought, because these are my newer ones, I want to use these older ones first, give them a try. Some of these, I think, like, some of these are pretty rock solid that I've either had for a very long time or
I've bought them as a vintage paint bundle off eBay, and some of them have been fine, some of them have not. Usually with gouaches they will reactivate with water. It just means I won't be able to squeeze the tubes out onto my palette as easily as usual. So we shall give those a try. I haven't actually tried that one yet. And then on this side I've got my high flow acrylics, and I was hoping to fit my inks in as well. Yeah, that doesn't look like that's going to be able to happen, unfortunately, but never mind, we've got those there. And then on this side I've got my Lucas heavy body acrylics. On the bottom drawer I've got my Liquitex heavy body acrylics. So they fit in just nicely. There are actually a couple of colours I would like to get. I have no greens at all. So these are bought in again in bundles off eBay, but were new. But you didn't have much choice of the colours, you know. I think I have space there for a couple more without it getting too overcrowded. And I only need a couple of greens. I don't really need much more. And of course you can mix green. You just save some time to have a couple. A warm green and a cool green would be nice. Also in the Lucases I only have a cool green. I've got Viridian. It'd be quite nice to get a olive green in there as well. So there we are. I'm quite excited to see how this works out, because of course this is quite pretty. I think I'm going to try and make room on my desk for this now, and just keep this one and the other one sat at the back of the desk, and I just pull them forward like this when I'm ready to paint. And then it also means I can pop my palette on top like that if it needs to stay flat. It's a little high, I have to be honest, a bit awkward, but better than what the situation was before. And it also means I could stack the other one on top to create some space. Yeah, but of course I'm not going to throw away the wooden boxes, so this doesn't work out, I can always go back to that. If not, I will have to find another use for those wooden boxes, because they're nice. These do fit nicely, but I have to say I'm tempted to mix these in with these, because they don't have to be separate, you know, they're both good grade. I mean, the Liquitex are definitely better than this, but I'm so happy with these Lucas ones that I'm quite happy to sort of mix them up together. And then that would free me up a drawer, and perhaps I could put my inks in this drawer. Yep, I've changed my mind, I'm going to do that. Rainbow order, of course. Yeah, that does fit. And I think I can still see everything clearly enough. If I find that I can't, I'll have to obviously think of a different system. So that frees up this one, and I'm going to get my ink bottles and put them in there. So, I mean, these aren't inks, these high flow acrylics, they apparently act like inks, you know, they basically are flowy like inks. I still haven't tried these, they're quite pricey. They were actually a Christmas present. So I've been doing all these little flowers in this sketchbook. This is mainly what I've been doing recently to test out different mixed media, and these just wouldn't work on such a small scale, but on a pad this size that's just perfect. So I'm looking forward to trying these, and I've been watching lots of YouTube and I've seen some really good drippy effects, and yeah, I'm looking forward to using them. And I think I will use my inks quite frequently as well. These were actually given to me, someone was just getting rid of them, and I've got this big bundle of inks, so they can go in here. Look how perfectly my inks just fit in that drawer. I'm so pleased. So I've just matched some of all these had come off. I need to make sure they tuck in. But I was so pleased with that. I mean, it was like they were designed to go in there, so very happy. And the other good thing about these drawers is they could just be pulled right out. If I know I'm just using inks, I could just pull that out and put that on the table next to my palette, and I don't need any of the rest of it, that's fine too. So there we are, that is now full. I'm very happy for those inks to have a home too, because they didn't fit in my chest of drawers of art supplies either, they were just sort of hanging about. So yeah, all good. Oh my gosh, This is the funnest thing to do, honestly. If you're ever just feeling stuck and struggling to get started with your art, just organise some art supplies instead. Just have fun. It's all meant to be fun. There's just no way I can show you this room, honestly, without just showing the mess. I mean, even that's not that actually messy, that bad, but it just everything in here always looks messy. But this particular side of the room is particularly messy. In fact, when I did the other tidies up, I just avoided showing this bit in camera because I don't know where to put any of it. I'm totally stuck. So I need to sit on the floor, make my way through, see what I can do. I seem to have amassed quite a few dog toys in here for some reason. So I have to be honest. It's a little while later, but I really wanted to do some more art. So nothing has changed. My desk is still here. All my stuff is still here. I did manage to do a little bit of sewing the other day by shoving everything to one side, but now I've got to take this seriously. I'm going to start with putting away the art stuff. Well, now that I have moved the radiator over and I've been able to push the desk sort of further towards that wall, I think it kind of works. It's not a permanent solution. It definitely isn't. I will definitely need to do a lot more work than that. But for now, it will do. I've left it too late. I started this video a while ago, so caught up with doing art on my desk that I didn't want to start doing the moving it about, and now I've left it too late because I need to sew. I need to get on with my sewing, so everything's just going to be pushed away. So I'm sorry if you were looking for a really sort of neat and tidy studio sort out. It's always, as I always say every time I try and do that, it's a work in progress. I can only do it a little bit at a time, but we are getting there. We're getting there. So it's the desk next. So I could put the paintbrushes up on top of my stack of paints. I'm just going to have to sort of pile this up and tuck it in the side or something just to get it out the way, and so I can get on with the sewing. I just need it done quickly now. Well, I'm going to call it a day. That's good enough. Honestly, I've sewn dresses and with the desk in a lot worse a state than that. Yes, it's all temporary, and I know I need to spend some decent time properly decluttering my desk and, well, the whole room. Like I said, I'm massively going to downsize my fabric stash. I'm going to sell a load of it. So if you think you might be interested in, like, I'm going to sell like inspiration packs. I can't remember if I said this already, but let me know, or better still, yes, do this. Get on my mailing list. I really don't send out emails very often. In fact, I'm not even sure I've done one this year. But if there's any news, and I do keep meaning to get on top of this, but if there's any news about things like fabric sales, if I've got any sales going on in the Threads of a Fairy Tale clothing shop, then that's where it will be. So I'll put the link below for the Threads of a Fairy Tale mailing list, and get yourself on there if you're interested in buying some big loads of fabric, and or if there's anything specific that you know that I've got that you might like, do let me know. I might be willing to sell it. Yeah, so that's that. I'm not going to ramble on. I have this habit of rambling on at the end of videos. I'm pretty pleased actually. I am now ready to carry on. I've got space here, so of course the desk was just here. I've now got space to move around. My mannequin is just here. So yeah, this is actually quite workable. The desk being there is okay. It's alright because when I sit at my desk just here, my writing desk and editing desk, the art desk is behind me, so it's not in my vision at all, so it's not getting in the way of the feeling of the space in the room. So I quite like that, but it's gonna get in the way, I know it is, if I want to get to my ribbons, if I want to get to the other mannequin. So yeah, do stick around. If you like a good studio sort out, do hit subscribe, hit the bell notification, because there's going to be a few of these coming up, I'm guessing, doing like a bit at a time, and really getting this room much more workable, because I need it to work. It's hard working in a small space. It's hard working in a small space. I'm very lucky to have what I've got. I know a lot of people have a much smaller space than this. I do have a whole room, which is a luxury, I do know that. But yeah, like I said before, I think I have too much going on in it, and it's time to make it work a bit better. I said I won't ramble on, and then that's exactly what I did. Shut up, Helen. Time to stop talking. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, everyone. Don't forget to sign up for that mailing list, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.